Hey guys, welcome back to the What's in My Pack series. This will be the final episode. I had a lot of requests for what are the other things you carry in your pack that might not necessarily be only for long range hunting. The pack right now, the EMR2, was loaded out for November deer season, so there's going to be a lot of insulation in the pack. And one of the beauties of the EMR2 is its ability to expand and really take on big, bulky loads. So I'll tear it apart and show you the rest of the stuff that's in the pack now. Okay, a lot of this stuff isn't going to be too much different than what you would take in a normal, say, day hunt out of a small day pack or a fanny pack or whatever. One of the big things with long range hunting, for me at least, especially during deer season, is I stay right until dark. And the shots I take during whitetail season will go out to 600 or 800 yards. So if I shoot a buck at last light at 600 or 800 yards and I have to drop down into a draw and come up the other side, it's going to be dark by the time I get to that deer. Now, I've never had to leave an animal in the woods overnight that I didn't dress out and hang in a tree first. And I don't plan on starting it now. So I take my lighting pretty seriously. The EMR2, or just about any pack that you get from Kifaru that has the waist belt like this, they have a very good assortment of pockets. So on this side, I have a small pocket, and that's where I keep all my light, my eye drops, my extra balloons for the muzzle brake covers, things like that. I've got a Petzl Tikka XP2 and a Surefire backup light, and the thing I really like about this Surefire is I can clip it onto my hat brim like this, so it's hands-free, and it's 200 lumens of light. It's really nice for that, for dressing or for looking for an animal or whatever. I really like this light. Now, there's a lot of new technology out there for flashlights, so this is probably pretty old school, but I'd rather spend money on bullets instead of updating my light every year, and these two lights have really worked well for me. The other thing in the pocket, like I was saying, is an extra balloon for the muzzle brake, extra hearing protection, a pistol light, depending on where I'm hunting and what time of year I'm hunting. This just clips right onto my Glock. I really like Havalons. That's all I use now. I carry an extra knife with me, but I haven't had it out in a long time. I've completely taken apart close to a dozen animals now with Havalons, and I've never broken a blade. I really like these knives. And I've got eye drops, just in case my eyes get fuzzy. So that's all I have in the side pocket. Okay, before I open it up, this is what a small pocket. This is actually a medium-sized pocket, Kifaru pocket. The one I have on the belt now is a small. This will fit on that waist belt in the same place and gives me a little more capacity if I need it. The other thing about this pocket is if you want to hang it down the side of your pack, it's big enough to put a rifle butt in, so you can just lay a rifle butt right in that and then strap it, compress it with the straps. Really good little pockets. This one will also strap right to the top of the lid. It has 4 loops that these metal buckles go into. Okay, let's tear this pack apart. Like I was telling you, it was mostly loaded out for deer season during November, and when I long range hunt for whitetails, I like to get into a stand and just stay there as long as I possibly can. Well, this year the temperature averaged, I think, right around 18 degrees throughout the whole day for almost 2 solid weeks, so we were cold a lot. And one of the things I've been using the last few years is a Hill People Gear Serape. This thing is warm. I really like it. You can put it on like a cloak. It has a hood on top here. It has a full zipper that runs down to about mid-length of the Serape, so you can get in and out of it pretty quick. You can configure this as a, like a poncho liner. It's a rectangle. You can tie it up and make it into what they call as a greatcoat. I haven't really used it too much like that, but I sure have had this over me sitting on the ground and completely inside of it when the temperatures were just stupid cold and I shouldn't have been there anymore, and this has kept me very warm. So this is a Hill People Gear Serape, and you can see the pack. I mean, who would have thought that that was inside this pack? Okay, next up, if I'm going overnight, I really like the Super Tarp from Kifaru. This is a large size pullout that the Super Tarp is in. It has all the cords and I think 10 stakes, MSR groundhog stakes. I don't really use this too much during deer season because I don't want to stay out in the woods during deer season. I really like my wall tent, my wood stove, so I day hunt during whitetail deer season. Okay, depending on what time of year it is and how cold it is, I might bring my little Snow Peak titanium mug with a little Snow Peak stove inside of it, as well as a folding spoon, so I might bring a freeze dry with me and heat it up to keep me on stand longer. Works really well. What I do carry with me all the time now is the sheep tarp. And if you watch some of my videos, you'll see 2 videos on the playlist all about the Kifaru sheep tarp. It's an awesome little shelter. It doesn't take up any space in your pack at all. It'll get smaller than this, but I just keep it in the small size pullout. Before I go too much further, pullouts, Kifaru pullouts. I really, really like them. Great for organizing your gear. I have all kinds of different sizes, all kinds of different colors. Great handy little deals. Not only can you put your gear in them like this to keep it safe, but it makes a really good shooting rest if you need to lay that over a rock or something and then put your rifle right on top of it. Awesome. Okay, so we've got more pullouts in here. This one, I believe, yes it does. So let me zip that back up so I can show you the size. Okay, that's an extra large pullout from Kifaru, right? And inside this is my Lost Park parka. So a lot of guys ask, how small can you make that parka? That's about how small you can make that parka. You could probably make it smaller, but why bother? If I leave it in this extra large pullout, I can put hats and gloves in there with it, and it all still fits. Okay, so I've got a lot of pullouts in here. I like to keep my gear organized. I try to keep stuff in it that's similar to each other so that when I go to dig into it, I know what I'm getting into instead of, you know, oh, this one's got snacks and one glove and a hat. I don't do things like that. I keep all the same kind of gear in the same pullouts. So this one's going to have an orange vest just in case I need one, and lots of extra hats, just beanie hats, some military surplus wool gloves. I really like them. Even when they're wet, they work. Pretty good traction too. Lots of gloves. Well, I was telling you, it was deer season, so there's a lot of gloves in my pack right now. Just lots of gloves. Okay, and this one has more gloves, an orange hat if I need one. I've got a lot of gloves, a lot of hats. Like I was telling you, you can take these little pullouts full of these soft goods that don't weigh anything at all and can press down pretty small and use them for shooting rests. They're very handy for that. You can build up a position, you know, to get higher. You can put them under the butt. You can put them under several points on the stock. You can put them between your elbow and your leg. You can do all kinds of things if you have it with you. So these light things like this that you can compress are gold for building positions. Okay, and at the bottom of the pack, I have this little pull-out here. And this has a really, really big trash bag, like a leaf and lawn bag, one of those really big heavy-duty ones. And what I'll do is when I bone out an animal or quarter it, I'll put it in game bags first, and then I'll put it in this garbage bag into the pack just to keep everything else reasonably blood-free. Doesn't always work 100%, but it sure helps. If I need to take my stuff out of my pack and stash it so that I can go down that big draw and come up the other side to get that animal, I don't carry all my stuff over there if I don't have to. If I can stash it under a tree and mark it so I can come back to it with the animal and then leave, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to carry everything I have over to the animal. So I have this big OR dry bag in that little pullout, and I just put in all of my sensitive stuff or things I don't want getting wet or I don't want squirrels getting into or whatever. I'll put them in this bag, roll it up, seal it, stash it under a tree with my rifle, spot and scope, tripod, all that junk, and off I go to get the animal. So that's how I do it. Garbage bag, dry bag, good to go. Okay, and inside the pack body, there are a couple straps here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have another ultralight pullout hooked to the inside strap with a plastic Night Eyes beaner, and inside that I keep my snacks, my batteries, flagging, stuff like that, things I might want to get to and don't want to have to search for this. And as long as I keep it strapped up like that, I know I can just reach in, open this zipper whichever direction I want to go, reach right in. I can even do it in the dark, unzip that, feel around, grab what I want, zip it back up. Don't have to pull it all the way out of the pack. Also inside here is a little pocket that they put in all their packs, Kifaru does, Inside this pocket, I keep a fire starter kit. And in the fire starter kit, I've got stormproof matches, a regular old Bic lighter, and 3 bars of trioxane. I've never not been able to start a fire with this combination, no matter what the weather is. Okay, and at the bottom of the main pack body is a Kifaru Whoopee. This isn't as warm as that HP's Okay, and at the bottom of the main pack body is the Kifaru Whoopee. This isn't as warm as the HPG Serape, that Hill People Gear deal, but I really like it and it's very light, so I always bring it with me. Usually what we'll do is when we get to where we're going to go on stand in November, now remember this is really cold out, the ground's going to be frozen, almost always has snow or water on it. What I'll do is I'll lay this out on the ground, maybe fold it in half, maybe just lay it out the whole length, and I'll get down on top of the Whoopee and then just fold it back up over my legs, and that helps a lot keeping warm. This also makes a really good rifle rest if you need a nice soft big one. It's another one of those things that just doesn't weigh very much, and with a pack like the EMR2, there's no reason to leave it home, so I always have it with me during deer season. Okay, and up here in the top lid and the guide lid, there's another chamber pocket. This also has a full fire starter set in it. In case I want to take this off the main pack body and take off with it, I'll always have a way to make fire. Keep my game bags in here. These are just freshly cleaned, so I haven't put them in the vacuum sealer yet. Usually what I do is I vacuum seal them down. These are tag bags, so they get really small. They're really good for putting meat in. They don't weigh anything. They're very durable. I really like these bags. They usually go into this pullout. This pullout is my kill kit. So inside the pullout, got all kinds of nifty things. Number one is all my tags in a pouch. I've got flagging, lots of parachute cord, another Havalon, extra blades for the Havalon, a pen, some more parachute cord, a small roll of Gorilla Tape, some wire hangers for hanging heavy quarters out of trees. Anything I might need to take care of an animal by myself in the woods, I have it with me all the time. So like I was saying before, usually what I'll do is I'll take these and I'll suck them down in a vacuum sealer and put them right on top of all that stuff so that I have one bag. No matter where I go, I can put it right in the top lid, so if I take off with the top lid, I'm legal, I've got all my tags, and I got everything I need to take care of an animal. Okay, that's it for the What's in My Pack series. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave comments down below the video there. I've had my website up and running now for a couple of weeks. Go visit panhandle.com, panhandleprecision.com. I'll have a lot of written content on there, a lot of links back and forth to all this stuff. I'm going to balance it out between videos and written content this year, but there won't be any less of it. So thanks for watching. See you next time.